We are all excited about the new year, but some people are caught in this confusion about their lives. They're asking themselves, should they continue with the old path that they took in the years that have passed, or should they start off on a new clean slate entirely? Now, sometimes when you are feeling confusion or when you are confused, it's not because of failure. No, it's not because you've lost the plot. Most times it is because your mind is asking you to calm down and actually look at yourself within, not necessarily the things that are facing you around you. That is why I want us to look at how to go from confusion to clarity using self-awareness, because it's very, very important. But before I get to tell you that, why do people feel confused? Why do people feel stuck? I'm going to give you 5 reasons why that happens. The first one is because of false sense of urgency. Now we get into a new year and a lot of people are frantic and they begin with a lot of mantra, things like new year, new me, and the rest of the things. Now with that, most times they begin to create a sense of urgency, suggesting that transformation must be immediate and dramatic. There are some other persons that will begin to tell you things like, today is the 10th of January already. You've done more than 1% of the year. What have you achieved? How far have you gone on your goals? And all those things that they use to form a lot of sense of urgency in you, which causes most people to get stuck or to become confused. The second thing is that people suffer from identity fatigue. So we come into a new year and people begin to talk about New Year resolution and all that. It has an undertone or a false narrative that it carries, that you are not enough the way you are. So that's why you must have to change something about yourself. And when that happens, it triggers a lot of shame and internal resistance from within you. The number 3 reason why people feel stuck and confused is because of unrealistic expectations. Many people set overly ambitious goals because they want to impress people out there and not even themselves. And those goals, they lack the history and even the immediate capacity to be able to achieve them. And this leads to an early feeling of failure. And all this will make people feel the number 4th reason why they feel stuck and confused, which is fear of the unknown. Now, New Year is a stark reminder that you have had some years that passed. It tells you about the uncertain future. Why? Because it triggers anxiety about your career, your relationship, your personal growth. Some people come into the new year depressed. Why? They tell themselves, I'm adding another year this year, and I've not been able to achieve this, that. Meanwhile, 5 years, 10 years ago was when they said that by this time I would have finished this. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. By this time I would have been married. By this time I should have been done with my degree. By this time I should, whatever it is that you have planned. But even at this point, you've not even started the process at all. And then your mind is beginning to ask you, who knows if this year is just going to be like the other years? The number 5 thing is because of reflection and regret. Looking back in the past years, the challenges, the missed opportunities, it will begin to stir up a lot of feelings of inadequacy and regret. I missed that opportunity last year. Some persons are regretting, there is this guy that I was supposed to marry last year, but because of my sheer selfishness or stupidity, I missed out on the girl or on the guy, and different other things that will bring reflection and regret, leaving us stuck in confusion. Now, being stuck is not actually a punishment. It's a signal. It's a signal that tells you that you have been looking outward all the while and you've not looked inward. It's a signal that tells you you've done a lot of hindsight, looking backward, a lot of foresight, trying to see what the future have, but have never looked inward, insight. That's one thing that is lacking. And because it is lacking, a lot of clarity is you are lacking a lot of clarity and having a lot of confusion, right? Now, there are 5 things that self-awareness could help you do in clearing out the confusion and bringing in clarity. The very first thing that it does for you is that it helps you to identify the values that you have and also your motivations. Now, by understanding your core values and the things that truly matter to you, you are able to make decisions based on those things that matter to you. You are able to set goals that align with your authentic self, not things that people out there are expecting of you. Do you know that it is better for you to make 1 baby step in a year than for you to plan for 10 giant steps and make none? Did you hear that? Yes. It's better you make just 1 baby step in a year. Does that mean you should be slow and not pick some pace in your life? No. What I'm saying is that by the time you look inwards, you will know what pace suits you most. And not just adopting what the world is saying and screaming at you just because you want to impress people. Now, the number 2 thing that that self-awareness will do for you in removing the confusion and bringing clarity to you is that it clarifies your strength and your weakness. An honest assessment of your strength and the areas of growth that you have in your life will allow you to build yourself up and begin to do well proactively without needing any form of external push from behind, right? It will also help you to work on your challenges, leading you to make a more realistic plan for your life and a more realistic personal development activity. Most times what we suffer is what is coming from outside, the noise from outside. It has deafened us so much that we are not able to listen to the voice from within, and that leaves us in a lot of confusion, in a lot of difficult position, right? Now, the number 3 thing is that being able to become self-aware would help enhance your decision making. Now, self-aware individuals make more informed choices, more informed decisions. Why? Because they recognize their biases, their limitations, the things that make them tick. They know, they understand it. So, while making a decision, they make a firm and a correct decision. This helps lead to greater satisfaction and reduce the regret that you face in your life. The number 4 thing that self-awareness will do for you in helping you to clear your confusion and bring in a lot of clarity is that it helps you to promote meaningful goal setting. Because you know yourself, because you know your strength and your weakness, because you have found out your core values and the things that make you tick, you are now able to set a meaningful goal for yourself. Instead of being overwhelmed by what they say out there, all or nothing approach to things, no, you are able to look inwards and find out what works for you, and you are able to follow it. With that, you're able to set achievable goals, and you have achievable intentions that are personally meaningful. Let me tell you what that does for you. What it does for you is that it allows motivation to come from within you and not outside. And that is actually the motivation that is most effective, the one that comes from within. A lot of us have had failed years in the past simply because we are waiting for motivation from outside, from other people. But can I tell you the truth? All those people you're expecting motivation from are also struggling with their own different issues. So they don't even have time to come motivating you. So the motivation you need must come from within you. That is the one that is most effective. Now, the 5th thing that self-awareness will do for you in helping you to clear the confusion and bring clarity is that it helps to foster self-confidence. compassion. A lot of us have failed in the past, not because we are not skilled enough, not because we are not talented, not because we are not gifted, not because we are not informed, not because we don't even have the courage, not all that, but simply because we are not kind to ourselves. We criticize ourselves to the point that we are not able to rise again after a setback or a failure. But if you realize that being kind to yourself is what energizes you to go again even after you have failed, then you will see that it is very, very important. Approaching your inner world with curiosity and kindness instead of harsh criticism helps reduce shame and the pressure to be perfect. Not just perfect because on your own, but perfect because you're looking at someone else. You're observing that person's life and saying, if my life can just be like his own, if I can just be like him or her, without realizing that even at that level where he is that you are envying, he or she still has a lot of struggles that they are dealing with. Can I tell you the irony? The irony is that this position where you are today, that you don't count as anything, someone out there is looking at you and saying, if I can only get to that his position. You see how life works. That's why you must have to be contented with wherever you are, with whatever level you are, and be a bit kinder to yourself. Will you make mistakes? Yes. Would there be some times that you will goof? Yes, there will be. But when such happens, allow yourself to recover. Allow yourself to rise again. Don't beat down yourself to the point that you're not able to recognize that there is any form of strength in you again. This compassionate stance is very crucial for your mental resilience, so that when you fall, you're able to rise again, especially in reflecting on past years. Now, getting clarity is very, very important, very crucial. But getting clarity doesn't actually give you answers at once. You know what it does for you? It, first of all, stops you from fighting yourself. Because most times we talk about the enemies without, the things that are pursuing us from outside. We don't realize to talk about the enemies within. Simply because there are a lot of alarms that have gone out inside you that are blaring and screaming for your attention. But because you are more concerned about the things happening outside, you are not even listening to those alarms to know what is causing it. What do I need to do about it? Now, what is expected of you? Responsibility. That's all that is expected of you. Responsibility. Become responsible from within. Go find yourself from within. Responsibility is not guilt. Responsibility is not shame. Responsibility simply is ownership. That you own it. It is yours. It's your life. Ownership empowers you to be able to achieve those things that you want to achieve. When you take responsibility of your life, you know what you've done? You have collected back the driving wheel of your life and given it to yourself. You're now the one holding the steering of your life. But when you refuse to take responsibility and look inwards, or you begin to blame other people for what is happening in your own life, you know what you're doing? You become a passenger in your own life. So someone else is driving you. The person is driving you in a direction you don't want to go. You are screaming at the person to stop. But the person is not stopping. Why? Because the person is driving in his own direction, not yours. That's why you must have to take over the steering wheel of your life in this year, because you alone know the direction you want to go, and you alone can drive yourself in that direction. Healing starts when you stop running from understanding yourself. It's very necessary. Understanding yourself is what brings you to the point of clarity and also save you from a lot of confusion. So the question I want to ask you and leave with you for you to go and ponder on is, what is that one pattern in my life that keeps repeating itself? Every year it happens again. Every time it is the same thing. What is that pattern? What is that thing? Go back inside and find it. When you find it, try and find out, why is it happening? One thing you could do is get a journal, write. When you realize what it is, put it down. When you realize why it is happening, put it down. You are not putting it down so that you can judge yourself. No, it is so that you can notice it. When you notice the first one and you find out the reason, find a second one, find a third one, find a fourth one. Now, when we're talking about patterns, I'm not just talking about negative things. No, I'm also talking about the positive things. There are some things that make you come alive. There are some things that spur you on. Find out those things. Put them down. That is what self-awareness is. So that you know what direction to head, because you're looking to get yourself to go up again, and know what things to avoid because you don't want to go down to that level where you used to be. It is something you want to do for yourself. You need to do it because you're taking responsibility of your life from today. So when you do that, you become aware of yourself. When you become more aware of yourself, it introduces calmness into you. And that calmness is what will help strategy to flow, so that you begin to flow with a lot of solution. You get into your element and begin to find solution to the things that you never knew you can find solution to. My name is Oqui, the Wealth Maestro, and I'm super excited that you're able to join me on this edition of Ace with Oqui. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Oqui W Maestro as we continue to make inroads into achieving clear excellence in our lives and in this year. God bless you.